If you make over $300,000 a year in income, taxes are going to be your biggest expense. And I'm Nash Evans, and here we're going to show you how to take that same money that you're going to pay to the IRS and turn it into income generated from oil and gas wells. So come with me and let me show you how that works. Right now, as we're doing this, oil is $104 a barrel, natural gas is $7.39. When you're making $300,000 a year or any income that puts you in a 35% or more tax bracket, again, every dollar that you're making, you're going to be paying around 35% of that or more, depending on your state, to the IRS. So when you're looking at oil and gas wells, there's really three categories to put your taxes in. You're going to look at short term, mid-term, and long term. So when we're looking at short, any investment made in an oil and gas well that you are a direct participant in, or you're buying a wellbore or you're buying equipment, constitutes for certain write-offs. And the two primary ones are your IDC, which is your intangible drilling cost, and your TDC, which is your tangible. The IRS allows a 100% write-off on all intangible goods in the year the investment is made and the year that the work is performed. So those are things that once the money is spent and the materials are used, there is no value to. That's diesel fuel, that's cement, that's the mud, that is the salaries you're paying the people that are performing the work, that's the crews, that's certain rentals. That can be written off 100% in, let's just say, 2022. The TDC, this is going to be the things that have a physical value to them. That's going to be tubular goods, rigs, equipment, production facilities. Well, due to bonus depreciation, you can write off a 100% of that in the year the investment is made as well. And it starts to get phased out in 2023. So if you are looking at investing in an oil and gas well, you should be able to write off 100% of the investment in the year the investment is made. I'm not a CPA, I'm not your tax consultant, so please talk with your professionals to make sure that this will work for your given scenario. But let me show you how the short-term tax benefit works here. If you invested $100,000 and you're in a 35% tax bracket, roughly you should be able to deduct $35,000 from what you owe to the IRS. So when you're writing off 100% of $100,000 and you're saving $35,000 that would go to the IRS, this is their money, you can have a smaller cost basis for your investment. So if you invest $100,000, it's not costing you $100,000. $100,000 minus 35 grand is $65,000. So when everybody says, well, what's my break-even point? How much money do I have to make to break even? You don't have to make $100,000 to break even on a $100,000 investment. If you're in a 35% tax bracket, you only have to make $65,000 to actually break even. Now let's talk midterm. Midterm is going to be the retirement accounts. Those are the things that the IRS, your company, and let you utilize for a rainy day, for retirement, and everything else. So we're going to talk about traditional, Roths, and 401ks. Here, if you're taking a traditional, the amount you put in the account, you take your write-off up front. On a Roth, you're not taking any form of tax benefit on these dollars, but all the money generated from both of them, and even your 401ks, can go back into the account. Now, here's the only way to utilize this is being self-directed. So if you have any questions, we do this all the time with our partners. Give us a call. We'll explain it to you. but if you have a self-directed IRA 401k, you're able to generate monthly income and put it back into these accounts with no taxes being paid on ordinary income, and it can sit there and compound up until you're ready to retire or pull that money out. So instead of paying 35% taxes on the income that are generated from oil and gas wells, you're not paying this. It's going back into that IRA account. When you are ready to retire, on the traditional, you pay the taxes when you pull it out, but on a Roth, which I think is one of the greatest tools available, it's 100% tax-free. So if you invested in this scenario, $100,000, and over the course of a 30, 40-year window, you're seeing 4 to 7x on your money, let's go with $600,000. That means you turn $100,000 into $600,000 tax-free. Now, if you were to pay taxes of that, $600,000 isn't $600,000. It'd be more around $400,000. So you save $200,000 by utilizing it in a midterm tax-sheltered savings account. Long term, it's my absolute favorite. 1031. The IRS deems working interest in an oil and gas well real estate when it comes to tax benefits and 1031 exchanges. So let's say you bought a house or an apartment, condo, whatever, and you bought it 30 years ago for $1 million. Well, this market, people are selling long-term hold assets for crazy amounts of appreciation. This scenario here is a very common one. So if you're a real estate professional and you've got a massive appreciation for a property, now is a great time to actually look at oil and gas. So you bought it, you hold it for 30 years. Now that $1 million property is worth $4 million. What does that mean? That means that $3 million of it is open for taxes. By using 1031 exchange, you can exchange this appreciation that you got in real estate and then do a 1031 exchange into an oil and gas well and defer your taxes. So you're not paying taxes on $3 million. You're exchanging $4 million into $4 million of interest into an oil and gas well and deferring taxes. You're not paying them today. The biggest benefit to this, though, is your cost basis. So if you've got $4 million worth of interest in an oil and gas well, a field, things of that nature, and your cost basis is $1 million, let's say you're making 25% rate of return a year. So 25% of $4 million is $1 million. And your cost basis is $1 million, I'll let you tell me what the rate of return is. But if you're generating this year in, year out, yeah, let's say the price of oil goes down. Okay, cool, $500,000 a year. Let's say it goes up. Well, you could make more than $1 million a year. So, you know, these are if-then scenarios. Every wellbore is different. Every field is different. Every project is different. But these are the ways, short-term, mid-term, and long-term, that you can shelter your income, save the money that you're paying to the IRS that you're not getting any rate of return on, and convert it into monthly income derived from oil and gas. I'm Nash Evans. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you and even walk you through specific scenarios to show you how you can take the benefit from oil and gas.